It is Black Monday, and coaching changes will be happening today. They will. It's just going to happen. As a matter of fact, we've already had a few of those coaching changes happen already. And our next guest is coming out here today to talk to us about what coaching changes will be happening around the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Fernandez has joined us. He's our head writer over at What's on Sports. Lance, how are you today, first of all?
Doing great, John, and hope you notice new haircut, new year, new things, new haircut. So,
I actually like it, man. You look pretty sharp. I got to be honest. I wasn't loving what you had, the hair helmet thing you had going on before, but to me, this says I'm a pro and I should be on the podcast every day.
Thank you. Yeah, much cleaner,
very professional. Let me just tell people out there that don't know a lot about the NFL, kind of learning the rhythm of the NFL. The Monday after the very last Sunday of the year is known as Black Monday. This is the day when coaches are literally thrown out of the building, fired, GMs are fired. I mean, this is usually when it all happens. Now, this year, we had a few teams already make moves in the middle of the season. And I don't know how many that is. Is that 3 or 4? How many teams have already fired their coaches? Do you know, Lance?
I believe that's about 3, but the most prominent of which is Matt Patricia being fired with the GM of the Lions, who were former Patriots personnel. So they are already canned, and Detroit has already started the process of finding a coach and a GM.
Okay. So there were 3 teams that had a head start, and then today is Black Monday. So how many coaches have been fired so far as of right now?
Okay, as of right now, 2 coaches have gotten the so-called coaching guillotine because the fan base and the front office had enough. First of all, Adam Gase, obviously, after 2 seasons with the New York Jets, he compiled a 9-23 record. So that's an atrocious record to begin with. We all hope that his win streak at the end of this season could have saved his job, but it was not enough because the purge was happening in New York nevertheless. And other coach that has already taken the axe in his head coaching head is Doug Marrone of the Jacksonville Jaguars. In 4+ seasons, he has a record of 23-43. And I guess the management has just seen enough, and they just cut ties with Marrone. And rumor has it that former Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer is on his way to Jacksonville to head the team.
Really? Well, first of all, look at that in many ways is really kind of a messed up thing. First of all, there's a Rooney Rule in place that means that Jacksonville has to interview at least one minority candidate. If they don't go through that process, I believe there are some strong penalties for that. Second of all, I don't believe that Urban Meyer is going to do well I don't know what you think, but I don't think Urban Meyer is going to do well in the NFL. I don't think that what Urban Meyer does, which is really, he's great at recruiting. He's great at developing systems that these kids can learn really fast. He's great at getting guys wide open in the college ranks. I don't think that's going to work as well in the NFL with what he does. I mean, what do you think about Urban Meyer making that transition?
I kind of agree with your statements, John, because for one season to work well, everything has to work well in the NFL. Even if you have a great coach that came from college, we know that dominating college coaches, they are accustomed to a culture wherein they are in control, like the Nick Sabans, the guys like Lou Holtz and the guys like those. It's only Pete Carroll in recent memory that I can recall a college coach that eventually succeeded in the NFL and win a Super Bowl title. Everybody else who won national titles, everyone else who were great in college was not accustomed to the system wherein their players are paid more than them and they might not get their respect. So that's a tough fit for Urban Meyer, especially essentially with the fact that Jacksonville doesn't have much in their cupboard to start with.
Yeah, you look at the situation you're talking about. Pete Carroll is a completely different kind of coach, in my opinion. He's a laid-back guy. He's got a more of that almost California cool to him, where I think works a little better with a professional player. And I think that was part of why he was able to make the transition. he was also in a position in Seattle where he was able to draft a lot of players. So you're able to take a Russell Wilson as a rookie and take him and mold him into who you want to mold him into. So I think he was able to mix up that team and originally with some older veterans and some younger guys and really make it into a college team that he could actually really turn into something special. So you got to give him a lot of credit for that. I don't know that if Urban Meyer or anybody really in the college ranks has that ability to be able to switch like that. And I guess we'll see. Who else do you think? Is there anybody else you're looking at that could end up being a casualty of Black Monday or even tomorrow?
Any casualty of Black Monday? Well, he just saved his job recently because the Bengals management decided to stick with him. Zach Taylor of the Cincinnati Bengals. Seems like he's on his way out, but the management saved him. And same goes for Anthony Lynn, at least for now, because of the win streak that they had at the end of the season. So their jobs are safe as of now. And looking at the list right now, I guess.
Well, let's stop real quick and talk about those two. I think those are great decisions if you stay with both of those guys, because you have young quarterbacks who were both successful inside those systems. When you take a young quarterback and this happens all too much, you get a young quarterback, his first year isn't very good, you fire the coach, you bring in another coach, he has to learn a new system. He's not playing, he's thinking. Maybe you fire that coach. You know, you go through like your Baker Mayfield, who's had to learn 2 or 3 different systems. Your Sam Darnold, who's had to learn 2 systems already. These young guys need to come in, be inside a system, given an opportunity to shine. I think Burrow looked great before he tore up his knee. Obviously, the kid in San Diego looked amazing. So changing those coaches would mean changing those systems, which would not be advantageous for either one of those quarterbacks. I say you keep both coaches and maybe adjust their defensive personnel, their defensive coordinators, defensive coaches, make some changes like that. Who else were you going to talk about?
Okay, so for Atlanta Falcons, I guess Raheem Morris is on the hot seat. He currently has a record of 23-38, and it hasn't been good for the Falcons in the recent years. So there might be a precedence wherein he might join Marrone and Nagy in the Axe.
Well, he's an interim coach anyway. I believe he replaced Dan Quinn earlier in the year. So, I given Morris a second opportunity to be a head coach is cool. But I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to really stick around. As you said, his track record isn't that good, and Atlanta didn't change that much with Morris as the head coach. They were still a team that underperformed, got blown out. It just didn't work out for people.
Yeah. So
who else you got? Anybody else?
I guess so far everybody is safe. Not much on the hot seat, but we know for the NFL it stands for not for long. So we don't know what happens. One day, a coach's seat is safe, and then the other, we'll just hear the breaking news that he's got fired. So,
all right, awesome. Well, we really appreciate it, Lance. Lance will be over at What's on Sports. We're writing up some really cool articles. You're doing an article on this, right, with a little more detail as the day goes on, correct?
Yes, we will do. It will also include coaches that might replace these coaches that have been axed.
Awesome. Looking forward to reading it over, Lance. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.